They say your early life romance game.
What's up, guys? Today you're in for a surprise. Today we're doing our 30 horsepower for $300 dyno, and then we're going to be dyno tuning afterwards, showing you guys the results. Here's what I'm going to show you get for 300 bucks. Torque pipe. Pretty simple. A genius little device. I never thought it was going to work, never thought it would make any power. Goes into the factory intercooler pipe, replaces a resonator type muffler thing in there. About 10 horsepower is what we've seen it to add. Super shorty. Just a little thing that kind of deletes the air box. Bolts directly onto a factory mounting point. Put your 3.5 inch filter on there. Super shorty intake. Real easy, real economical. Cat delete. Now this cat delete is only for the 2016 and up models. You have to have a single cat inside the car with a long flex section. If you have any questions about whether or not you have that cat inside your car, take a picture of the car and let us know, or give us a VIN number, we'll be able to let you know. All right, let's move on to the results. Enjoy the dyno pulls. This is previously when he came in. This is stock, no tune. That's third gear. So we're gonna go through this step by step. That's stage 0 when he left on his completely bone stock car, okay? This is with the 30 horsepower for $300 package that we offer. Again, that is the super shorty intake, cat delete, and our torque pipe. The results blew my mind. Okay, we did no tuning, did not change the tune. We simply put the parts on the car, ran the car on the dyno. Now for those of you that are wondering, does it make 30 horsepower if I cheat and I go to the steepest part that I can find in the curve? Yes, it in fact makes 30 horsepower. It actually makes upwards of about 31 horsepower. So it made 30 horsepower right there. Made 20 horsepower there. Made 20 horsepower there. So this is with a stage 0 tune. We did no tuning. So what you have to understand is that with a stage 0 tune, with no mods on the car, that would be the red line, the blue line being our baseline. So he made 182 horsepower in third gear at 78 mile per hour. Here, let me move that over to engine speed. There we go. So third gear at 6,500 RPM, we made 182 horsepower. With the stage 0 tune, we made 202 horsepower, and by simply putting on those 3 ports, again, the torque pipe, the super shorty, and the cat delete, we made it all the way up to 221 horsepower. So that is a, let's say, 41 horsepower increase on a stage 0 tune at 6,500 RPM. Now, is that impressive? Well, considering the amount of money you're into the car and the gains that you just picked up, absolutely. It's staggering results for the cost. Now here is the stage 1 that we finished up today. Again, we're still in 3rd gear. Stage 1, so this is our stage 1 tune, 3rd gear. The RPM pickup disconnected. I'm gonna have to move it over to speed. Sorry, there we go. RPM, sometimes RPM pickup gets a little, picks up static, picks up noise, and it doesn't connect all the way. So stage 1, go to that same point, 237 horsepower in 3rd gear versus 221 horsepower with stage 0 with the 30 horsepower for 300. So we picked up 16 horsepower with a stage 1 tune. But what you have to realize is that he still has the factory second cat and still has the factory exhaust on the car. He only has the first cat delete or super shorty intake and the torque pipe on the car. So we know we're running into some exhaust restrictions. So if we come a little bit over here, we get to look at what the real gains are, where we're not running into the exhaust restriction. We've got 183 horsepower on the factory. We have 189 horsepower on our stage 0 tune. We have 208 horsepower on our 30 horsepower for 300 paired up with our stage 0 tune. And now if you look at the tune, we went up to 235 horsepower. 235 horsepower, that's a solid 20 plus horsepower gain. 23 horsepower gain if I'm correct. So that's going from the stage 1 tune with the second cat still in the car and the factory exhaust on the car. So let's take a look at 4th gear. Now 4th gear really has some staggering numbers in it. So here's our 4th gear base. 4th gear base, pretty simple, 194 horsepower, 178 horsepower, 196 foot-pounds of torque. Not bad. Stage 0, again, no mods on the car. Stage 0 is simply cleaning up the ignition timing tables, fixing the air fuel tables. We're not going through and adding boost. Stage 0 is simply to fix what the factory did, and stage 0 picked up 20 horsepower, 19 horsepower up top, 4th gear. Now if we go to this real high point here, I'm sure it'll be higher, 77,202. So there you got almost 25 horsepower. Not bad. Big torque spike up here in front, pretty typical. That's what happens when you go through, clean up the ignition map. No biggie. Put the parts on the car. Again, 30 horsepower for $300. Again, blown away. Results blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. We go to the high point, it's 34 horsepower. Yeah, we picked up 34 horsepower from the 3 parts inside that package. Now, not making 30 horsepower here at Redline. You see how we're only making, I don't know, 179 to 193? It's like 14 horsepower. Not much horsepower. But let's go to the high point. Focus on what we made at stock. We made stock 177 horsepower at that point. I'm going to give you, let's go to engine speed. Okay, so we're going to go that high point. Stock, we made 175 horsepower. Tuned, stage 0, with the 3 parts inside our budget packet, racer package. Again, it's the 30 horsepower for 300. We went to 224 horsepower. Now, that's not bad. No, that's a solid 50 horsepower gain in 4th gear. Now if you look over here, again, stage 0 does not increase our torque values. We're not in here trying to make huge amounts of torque. We're just simply fixing the tune so the car pulls all the way out linearly to Redline. Up here, we're running into cat temp protection, stuff like this. That's why the power is falling off up top, because inside the stage 0 tune, we don't adjust any of the cap temp protection. Well, let's take a look at what stage 1 did. Blown away. I'm going to come right here. So 232 foot-pounds of torque versus 205 foot-pounds of torque. And that would be the stage 0 tune with the budget racer package, compared to 100, I'm trying to find the torque, 191 foot-pounds of torque. So it was a solid 41 foot-pounds of torque gain. Now here's the other thing I want you to look at. See the torque curve? See how flat that is? It's flat all the way across. That's looking really, really good. It's going to be a good accelerating car. Up here, ran into some problems with, I'm going to assume cap protection, because I haven't turned cap protection off. You know, whether you believe what the internet says or not, we don't go through and turn off safeties. So take that with a grain of salt when you hear it. Right here, probably dealing with some cat protection for the second cat, and probably dealing with some exhaust restrictions again because the car still has a factory exhaust on it. But if we look, 242 horsepower. Now this is SAE corrected. I don't know if you can see it right there. 242 horsepower SAE correction on a car that has 3 parts and a fairly conservative stage 1 tune. Car originally made 177 horsepower. Folks, I don't know about you, 177 horsepower versus 242. Who's good at doing math around here? That's 67 horsepower. I get that right? 65 horsepower. 65 horsepower gains for less, easily for less than $1,000. Those gains are phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. When he goes through, puts an exhaust on the car, I expect to see that climb another 8 to 10 horsepower. And this out here, the horsepower drop off, I'm expecting that to level out and go away. That'll level out and go away once he gets exhaust on the car and gets that second cat out of the way. So what do you take from this? Well, the biggest thing to take from this is our 30 horsepower for $300 actually does what we say it does. So when you bring your car to us, making, X amount of power, and we tell you it's going to make X amount of power when you're done, we actually can back that up. We can literally tell you, here's what stage 0 does, and there's what our 30 horsepower for 300 does. Now, a lot of people wanted us to get this dyno tuned and tested. We gave a stage 1 tune today away to this customer because he allowed us to use the vehicle for testing, and it was the only stock Veloster we could find locally. We needed to find a car local that we could get some testing on because all of our other cars have too many mods on them to put this kit on. So I hope you appreciate what we're doing. I hope you enjoyed the videos. I hope you enjoyed the information, and don't forget, damnfastdd.com is where you pick up the kit. We have these kits in stock ready to ship out. Thanks, guys.